Hey folks, welcome back to our Battle Poker Summer League series. This is week 5, table number 3. I am joined by my new co-commentator, Lord Dragontree. Lord Dragontree, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks so much for having me on stream. Blah, blah, blah. I'm on the channel.
Glad to have you back, man. Really enjoyed our first cast together. Looking forward to having this one. We have a 5-player table this time around. A couple of hard hitters. I know Burnt's doing really well in the league. Reach in contendership. Scaro always, as always, doing pretty well as well. Um, I know that Mr. Lord Dragontree, you're a little bit newer to the community. I believe recently started playing again.
Yep, probably about, I don't know. Whenever that first stream you guys saw me on was probably like the second week I've been playing. But
Okay.
just pretty recently that I got back into this.
Have you played enough to run into any of these players and maybe have a favorite to take it down yet, or is all of this still newish to you?
Honestly, I can't put my money on anybody just yet. We're gonna have to wait until a little bit closer to the end because there's a lot of players I've seen who are fantastic. I mean, Frosticles. I mean, he's fantastic. But I managed to beat him one time out of the 3 games, out of the 4 games we played. So, an upset can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the fun thing about poker. It can be anybody's game any day. If the cards fall the right way and you learn how to bet them right, you can absolutely take down anybody in the world.
Oh yeah, and Drunk Archon with those 21 Raven, a whole bunch of Ravens. I forget. It's a 25-25, so he had full stacks on both of those. That's just a
Oh
nasty
wow.
hand.
Whew. I mean, Vern saying he would have called it all in. I don't think I would have been able to make the fold either. With 25 and 25, oh man. I at a 5-handed table, I think I get that all in too. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's just that's just so good. And if nobody calls you, great. You don't risk losing. If somebody does,
I mean, what's gonna beat you?
ghosts.
Yeah,
You 25 ghosts, that could potentially beat the Ravens. And then whatever you got on the ground, ghosts would also counter the stalkers. So if you have 25 ghosts, that is probably the one hand that could beat that hand.
yep. There's always got to be something.
Yep, nothing is a god hand, like absolute undefeatable. Some strong hands out here. Everybody knows Thors are not the greatest, but they are a lot of fun, and those 11 Archons could contribute heavily to Reach if he gets a good second card.
Absolutely. 6 Ultralisks as well on the board for Scaro. I mean, not bad tanky
Ooh,
units.
we got
They'll
some
keep the
heavy
Thors
tanks
busy
out
for a
there.
little bit.
Yeah,
And
Archon.
Burnt picking up the 8 Void Rays.
Yeah,
Direct counter to the Thors as well as the carriers.
yeah. Basically, those Void Rays are going to counter everything except the Marines.
Yep.
But the Banshees counter the Marines.
A lot's going to depend on spawn positions. Who's going to run up into those 17 Hydralisks?
Yeah, and with only 3 players, it's not going to be a necessarily even split because, as you can see, Reach is getting two-handed from the
Oh
other one.
no.
Yep, and that split probably cost Reach. It definitely won for Drunken Archon because those Void Rays couldn't shred those double armored units.
Chips have been flying already. This is hand number 4. We already have somebody almost up to 2 stacks.
Drunken Archon with 227. Well, technically 228 if you count his initial bid. Reach, though, down almost 50 chips. Oh, and this is going to be a fun one. It's going to kind of depend on whether those Banshees target down the infested Marines or not.
Here we go. The Fungals coming in first, then the infested Terrans.
Looks
More
like the
infested Terrans
Colossi
slowly coming
are...
out. One more Fungal would have done so much to those Banshees.
Oh, yeah, and it's a good thing that those Colossi were with that hand, because they cleaned up the eggs very quickly.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, 5-1 says Drunk is going to be folding this round. 2 Marauders is not a hand you can support anything except maybe, I don't know, a crap ton of battle cruisers, Ravens, or maybe Tempests.
Well, we got something to figure out now. The last couple of casts, we've had 2 Marines come up. We joke that you can't play them even if they were Tychus and Raynor themselves. So for two Marauders, we got to figure out what 2 units would be Marauders and give them names.
I mean, we could always go with Blaze and what's-his-face.
Blaze and, I mean, if you can give me a name, we'll roll with it.
I was just thinking of the Tychus Co-op Outlaw. That's the big Marauder. I can't remember his name, though.
It's not Cannonball, is it?
No, Cannonball is the melee dude.
Okay.
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake.
That's the guy's name. Banshee's cleaning up those lurkers. Nice little pot right there.
Garo saying he got hecked.
Yeah, didn't really have any anti-air, and despite the fact Widow Mines are not the strongest unit, I mean, if you look on the Discord, you'll see that, you know, they've got what, like the 3rd lowest win rate or something?
Yeah, they're way down there. Like, way down there.
Which is, you know, such a surprise to me, considering how strong they are in actual games.
But in actual
those
games,
Ultralists coming in clutch because they are going to draw the initial burst off the Void Rays. Not a single Liberator goes down. Drunken Archon with some great hands.
Well, of course, in normal games, you know, Widow Mines you can set up ahead of time. You can set them in choke points. You can put them in places where they have certain vantage points. They don't just get ordered directly into a giant fight and then burrow and then hope to get a few shots off before they die. You know, it's very different circumstances.
Oh, very. And, you know, like in-game matches, you can get the drilling claws, which means they go down even faster.
Indeed. Yeah.
Unfortunately, those Banelings take out every single one of the Dark Templar, and these Stalkers are going to clean up the Ravens nicely.
You love to see it. Ravens going down. Ravens and Dark Templar going down.
Yeah, and that's usually a very strong hand, but Banelings are very strong counter to DTs, and the advantage of the Stalkers versus Ravens is, you know, they will survive 1 mine and then they jump away, so they don't get hit by 2 mines very easily.
Yep, absolutely. Reach with 24 queens this time. Drunk Archon flipping his cards back and forth, can't decide how to play them.
Yeah, those Colossi are going to be deadly with plus 3/3, but I think it was smart to fold because the Hydralisks really aren't that strong.
No. Only 6 Hydralisks simply not going to be able to do enough with the situation given.
Yeah, and those 15 swarm hosts are pretty much going to guarantee that it's going to be really hard for Reach to lose. He may do a split pot, but it's going to be very hard to lose. I think it's going to be very hard to lose for both players. 18 queens left.
They march forward into the locusts.
Yep. Some of the queens are actually going down. The other queens can't heal in time.
But we hit our 10 seconds. Split pot.
Yep. Oh, we're going to have an interesting one here. We've got Reach with 16 ghosts,
Ooh.
Scar with 7 BC, Ruark with 7 carriers. There's a definite chance that all three of these players are going to face off. And oh, I'm curious to see what the second card is going to be.
And don't forget Scarrow and Reach both with the +1/+1 Terran. Reach suited now with 2/2.
Yep, but more than likely those Reapers are going to chew up the or not. I thought more Reapers would go over towards those ghosts because those will hurt. Oh, the split.
Oh wow, look at that. The Thor's just getting free shots off almost.
Yep, EMPs going off on the carriers, making it just that much easier for the battlecruisers to finish them off with Thor support.
Thor could finish this off.
I mean, Thors aren't great, but that many Thors versus 2 battlecruisers is going to be an easy win.
The thing about Thors that keeps them where they are on the tier list is that they're incredibly good in multi-way pots. They're one of the units that stay back and just like poop out DPS like nothing else can. And I mean, what else do you want from like a good 3 or 4 way pot hand? Somebody that's going to be able to stay back and put out that kind of DPS on the ground.
Yep, that's why Tempests are an S tier for FFA.
Oh yeah.
Don't take them into 1 versus 1 as much unless I've got a full, 9 or 10 stack. But for FFA, oh yeah, I'll go in with 6 or 7. Scar with the $2 comeback starts here for the YouTube.
Oh boy.
But those Phoenixes are going to shred through Ruark, which means he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Oh, Scarrow got knocked out. I'm too busy talking. Should probably pay attention to the game.
It's alright, we're having good conversations.
Let's see if there's going to be enough time for these Phoenixes or enough energy for the Phoenixes to lift up everything. Smart targeting from the AI is knocking down all the Phoenixes with full energy. Drunk Archon with I mean, honestly, that was an unexpected win. There were enough Phoenixes there. I figured they might be able to take that.
Yeah. Ruark going down, 4th place. See ya, buddy. Got 1 more week to go.
So we've got Reach with 273 gold, Drunk Archon with 242, very close. And Burnt, unfortunately, sitting down there with just 110, but less than half. But it's definitely enough for a comeback. One really good pot, and he could be even on top.
Yeah, and keep in mind the antes are only at 8 right now. There's plenty of time for people to come back right now. Burnt, basically on 12, 13 bets. Reach on... What are they? Wait, are they only on 5? Did I misread
Yeah,
this?
initial ante's only 5.
Oh my, I mean, they have even more than that. Burnt has 18 bets right now. There's plenty of time for anybody to make any kind of move that they want to. We should still be seeing some really good poker here. Nobody's in any kind of danger yet.
Nope, unless they do an all-in with one of the strong hands, because, let's see. Tempest...
Well, speaking of strong hands...
Yeah, Tempest will counter Yamato-less battlecruisers, but that's going to be kind of iffy.
And Luke 30 goes into the pot each way.
A single volley from the Tempest is deleting a battlecruiser every round.
Yeah.
Or it was before a couple of those Yamatos went off and cleaned up a couple of them. But that plus
that's pretty disgusting to watch.
Oh yeah. Well, those plus, that plus what, like an extra 30 damage versus massive is huge.
Oh, it's more than that. It's against air units, they do 80 damage a shot. Or air massive units, I'm sorry, they do 80 damage a shot. Against anything else, they do 35, I think.
Oh, okay. For some reason I was thinking it was different. But yeah, I know that the 80 with the versus massive means that basically if the Tempest can start bombarding something that's massive, it's dead.
Yeah, exactly. And your knowledge is probably not wrong for what's on like Direct Strike and what's on Ladder. You just have to remember this is based on a much older patch that we haven't quite identified like exactly where it falls in the timeline. So these units all exist in this weird evolution of space where like the Cyclones had 200 health, for example, you know?
Yeah, this is the BattlePoker timeline.
Yeah.
Are the Tempest going to be able to take out 7 carriers? I don't know.
I think they will. If they focus just a little bit more, it's going to be even easier. There goes 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Oh, one more shot on that top one's going to take that one. Oh, three Tempests left. If they stop spinning around.
Yep, that is one of the big things I've noticed with my Tempests, at least. They like to target drones for some reason, or the interceptors.
Yeah.
But timeout, because there's just way too much HP for that many Tempests to clean up. Well, looks like Burnt's going with the traditional versus hand, 14 Marauders and 13 Medivacs. Medivacs for all policy. Zero anti-air.
I mean, sometimes you love to see it. The Broodlords, the Oracles, raining down death and destruction.
Yep, one of the few times that Swarm Hosts are just not going to cut it whatsoever because there's nothing else to target.
Luckily, the Medivac's just going to chill there in midair and pretend like nothing's happening.
Well, it's going to be a nice split pop between Burt and Reach.
Yep. Ooh, Burnt with the 25 ghosts, queens rather this time.
Yeah, well, he's been hemorrhaging money the last few rounds, so he definitely needs to get this one. I mean, he's got 25, like you said, 25 queens. That's huge.
Yeah.
Albeit the Widow Mines aren't the greatest, but still, I'd go in on that hand myself.
And here we go.
And fortunately for Burnt, those libs are going to be smacked down by the Vikings.
Vikings much less dangerous on the ground than Liberators that are installed to siege the ground are.
Oh yeah. Plus 3/3 libs, I think, have a shot of, if I recall from this mode, it's like 110 or 120 with the cannons. It's absolutely terrifying when that happens, especially when you have 16 libs all doing the circle and you just see this rat-a-tat-tat of 110 damage spewing forth. It's like Yamatoing every time.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't want to think about it as a Zerg player.
So here's an interesting fact. It is possible in a 1v1 for enough High Templar to take down 8 battlecruisers if you max them out, because there are just enough storms to do that. Now, plus 3/3 battlecruisers, I think the cruisers will be able to shred the toss quickly enough, but unupgraded versus unupgraded, those storms actually do enough HP damage to take down the battlecruisers.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I did not know that.
It kind of depends on second units, but I have seen it happen.
Okay. That's good to know. Wow. That is something to watch out for.
Yeah, never underestimate the power of those storms.
And this is another emphasis on how to take those stats that we posted on Discord. You know, take them a little bit with a grain of salt because everybody's playstyle is going to be different. You're going to pair up different units different ways in different situations. You're going to be up against different units with different reads that you have. So, best way to get a more complete, accurate picture is to contribute yourself. So if you want to, hit me up on the Discord. My name's BotD again. Just send me in your replays. I'll add them to the banks. We'll get a more accurate picture of how some of these units perform in different situations.
Because let's face it, we're all kind of number crunchers here, and if you play any kind of poker game, you're a number cruncher too.
Sorry, I had to self-promote there for a little bit.
No, it makes sense. I mean, hey, you've done an excellent job with those lists. I know I've been paying attention to that because I did not realize. And like I had a couple people say that, yeah, widow mines are great in the 1v1s, but then I look at the actual numbers and I'm like, oh, okay, it's not just me.
No. I think they're great if you have a read that somebody's going some kind of mass air unit. Think like Phoenixes, Vikings, Corruptors, something like that. If you can put them in front and catch those units off guard in a 1v1, they're going to burrow and it's going to be like just a one-time Raven shot. Just bam, everything's going to go down. But it's such a specific read that you have to have in such a specific situation with such a specific backup card to really pull it off.
And they do friendly fire, so it's one of those. 94 Zerglings, always fun to see.
Maybe not so effective, but still fun to watch.
Oh yeah, 94 Zerglings versus 3-3 Terran, not that great.
As the Cyclones move forward.
Yep. Well, the Zergling and Ravagers got split off to deal with the Reapers and Marauders from Drunk Archon, and those were 4/4 Terrans, so it split off that extra firepower long enough to make it a little tricky for those Ravagers to be able to finish off several Swarm Hosts, which they failed to do, as you can see.
Right.
Oh boy,
reach min raising this time.
And reach with the battle cruisers. This is going to be fun.
They go check. Interesting. Reach with 16 oracles on top. Bert, unfortunately, losing his widow mines.
Yeah, and those 8 battle cruisers are just going to shred whatever's left. Interestingly, wildcards are the only way to get over the cap of some units, but you don't see it very often. It is possible to get 10, maybe 11 battle cruisers.
All right. Not a whole lot on the board this time around, save for maybe the 13 Phoenix.
Yeah.
Which can't lift Drunk Archons for Ultras. Gonna depend on these Hellbats to get it done. It's not looking pretty.
Swarm hosts are massive too, aren't they?
No, Swarm hosts are not massive.
Oh, there it is. Okay. For some reason, they were focusing on the Locusts and not the Swarm hosts. And most units will actually target the Swarm hosts right off the bat, even if there are Locusts in the same range.
Right. As far as I'm aware, the spellcasting AI in this game, the targeting is just a random target within range. So that will cast on that only affects certain spells. I'm sorry. So something like High Templar Storm, that will not affect like interceptors or summoned units to avoid them storming themselves.
Right. For whatever reason, I have noticed the High Templar, like for what you were saying, I should say, High Templar do not actually target Locusts.
Here we go. High Templar. Infested Terrans coming down right on top of the Ultralisks. Phoenix is taking out I cannot talk today. The Colossi one by one. Thor's coming in to finish everything off.
Yeah, those Colossi were targeting down the egg sacs from the infected, and that definitely is going to contribute to the Reach win, because Reach was just sitting back and bombarding stuff. Like you said earlier, Thors are great for doing that.
Yep. And that was Reach that played them earlier too, so he's clearly putting some work in with the Thors. Burnt this time with the. I'll have to tell you the story about this one. We call them the Wish.com Ravens, the Widow Mines.
You nearly made me choke. I was drinking coffee when you said that.
They're like the
It's
cheap
really
knockoff Ravens you get off of Wish.com that they're not quite what was advertised when you ordered Ravens, but they're close enough and you don't want to deal with the international shipping to send them back, so you just stick with them.
this is going to be the one time where I think those widow mines are actually going to get their shots off.
I think they will actually if they continue
Assuming
moving
they
forward.
burrow?
They're slowly getting there. Here we go. Two, three at a time. Almost beneficial that they did it that way instead of all of them just blowing their shot all on one battle cruiser.
Quite true, quite true. Let me guess. I don't think that, yeah. I always hate getting the one Viking roll. It's like, Vikings, yeah. Oh, crap. Oh, we got some fun coming here.
Oh boy.
I have a habit, and it's because I discovered the emojis. Every time somebody plays Ravens, I put the nuke emote in chat.
Here we go.
Hold
First
on,
round of
hold on.
kaboom going on.
Oh, wait, protection. Sorry, I was like, wait a second. Why is he doing that? So those ultras were targeting the DTs, and I was like, wait, why?
Yep.
Protection. Derp.
Detection.
Ooh, Reach has got 12 Void Rays. That is a beautiful hand.
Unfortunately, not so great against, well, actually, no. Nothing's really going to be able to threaten him too much.
Not when you add in 12 Liberators.
Not at all.
Now, if all those Widow Mines burrow at the same time and shoot correctly, there's a chance, slight, that they could actually pull something off. But with that many Liberators, there's a decent chance that they'll be able to snipe the Widows before they actually get burrowed in range.
Reach saying good fold. Ooh, drunk Archon this time.
Fallen.
Oh no, and Reach picks up 20 Ravens.
Yeah, this is going to be, if everybody goes in, because, I mean, Libs and Broodlords is pretty strong. Oh, he folds.
I mean, Reach has to go in here. Yeah.
Oh my.
The Infestors once again counter the Ravens because when they cast the Infested Terrans, they cast it on the Ravens first directly underneath them, and then the Ravens turn around and target the Infested Terrans that are underneath them and fail to run away in time.
Yep. But still, Reach manages to pull it out and eliminates Drunk Archon, who had a huge lead early on in this match.
Ooh. Reach enjoying about a 2-1 chip advantage.
And coming in with the DTs. He's just throwing it all in just because he can.
Why not?
Well, I mean, he's taking out Burnt because, well, actually, it's probably going to end up being... No, he's going to take him out. I was thinking maybe those 2-2 Terrans could take out the carriers, but nope. Too much of a split fire.
That's it. Reach takes it down.
That was a fun match. Lots of big hands, like dealt hands that were just super powerful. A lot of fun to watch, especially with all the Ravens dropping mini nukes all across the map.
Lots of those hands could have gone either way, and it was entertaining to see how it went down. I mean, especially in such a high MMR game such as like this, everybody in the 1800s, you love to just see how different players approach games like this. When everybody's running hot.
Oh yeah, and I'm enjoying this especially because I I play pubs, so I see a lot of these players in the pub matches and how they play in pubs versus how they play against the other high tier players, or even versus the high tier players in the pubs. It's kind of hilarious to watch how their styles will shift as the matches progress.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's very different playing against pubs than playing against people that you know that they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, there's a couple players where I'm like, oh, they raised on a potential 8-way. I'm folding
Yeah,
because they either got
absolutely.
yeah, they either got the battle cruisers or the ravens or the tempests. One of those three. That's pretty much every single time when they raise. It's like, okay, time to fold.
Well, I believe that's it for tonight. So thank you very much, Lord Dragon Tree, for joining me. If you have anything else for us,
No, that's everything. Congratulations to the winner here, and definitely look forward to seeing y'all on Thursday when the next batch of the league rolls around.
all right, sounds good. This has been Lord Dragon Tree and Bot D signing off. Till next time, we'll see y'all later. Take care.